Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Teresa, please take the roll.
Okay, Mayor Jones.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Bowen.
Here.
Aaron's. Here. Mattson. Here. And Jazz.
Yes. All right, do we have any additions or an approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting?
Motion to approve agenda. Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowling?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, do we have any motions or action on the minutes from the 5/21 meeting?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 21st.
Second.
Any discussion? Not, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowling?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right, no bills?
No bills.
Karen?
No bills.
Shocking. All right, we're to public comments, and I know we got a really exciting one, so we're gonna start with that. Kenny, you wanna come up or start talking?
How's this?
Oh wait, you don't say much, Kenny.
Not much, okay. So, I went to the pool and I went and talked to Miss Amy, and I asked her if the pool had an AED. She looked for a couple of minutes and, sorry, Amy. I said, you already look too long. So, would you like one? So, I'm making a donation to the city. I want it earmarked for the swimming pool. I had a lot of help. I talked to the ambulance service in Humboldt. Susan Shoemaker, family member, wanted everything compatible to their heart monitor. I also talked to Linda Hartman, paramedic, fire rescue here in Hartford. She gave me some phone numbers. I called the chief, she was out on a call, and got the numbers matching everything. It's the same thing that sheriff's department carries in their vehicles as far as AEDs go, so everything is compatible. AED, 2 sets of patches, okay? And I want to donate it.
And we appreciate that.
Okay, I got a carrying case, I already talked to Craig, and he will mount it at the swimming pool where Amy would like to have it.
Perfect,
Just protected case like we have outside the hallway.
perfect.
So, if that's okay, this is yours, and you can move it wherever you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I spent a lot of time there, and the park's right there. If we save one life, pay it for yourself. Okay?
You bet.
And hopefully it's never used.
You bet. Well. Anything you want to talk or you want to say anything, or that you were supposed to keep this a secret and not tell me?
I was never told I was supposed to keep it a secret.
Okay, let's get finished. Go ahead.
So, but, we will check it on a
I
regular
mean, you
basis.
can also find it in the post office, hanging on the wall.
We'll have to come out of the pool once the pool closes, because the temperature will be too cold over the winter. And then, city, is my understanding, the city will assume responsibility for buying patches and batteries when they need to be replaced. But we will keep you notified of that, like I said. we
Okay,
will
come on up.
check every 2
Awesome.
years.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Look at it.
You made me cry.
All right. Can you see us?
Gordon, do you want?
Sure, bring the box if you can, yeah. Hey, we'll blow a few minutes on this. Amy, you should come up here too. We should probably put you in the middle. Make us both look good. All right, we gotta step over so she can, all right.
There you go.
As somebody told me at the market the other day, they said, gee, I don't recognize you with your clothes on. All we have to see is at the pool. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks.
You bet.
Thanks, Kenny.
Am I doing good, Travis?
Great, thank you, Kenny. I'm still stumbling over Arden's comment.
Well,
That was on, oh wait, that was on the camera. Somebody
one
might
more
see
thing
that.
was, I went to the pool one day and he said, why aren't you jumping in the water? And I says, I got irons in the fire. He looks at me, he says, you doing a side hustle? And I thought about it, and I shook my head, I said, I guess you could call it that.
That's what it was, huh?
And then he asked, it's not illegal, is it? Well, if I'm wrong, my God, I don't wanna be right. I love you all.
Thanks, Melissa and Jamie, their swimmers, count 'em. Linda's down there. Well, you wanna find out what's going on in Hartford, come to the pool at 8:30 in the morning, you'll find out what's going on. Thanks, you guys, see you tomorrow.
Chlorine's like a truth serum.
Oh, boy, it must be. All right, anybody else that has anything else from the public to say? If not, we'll start wheeling through the agenda. All right, first up, we have special application permit for Buffalo Ridge Brewing for the Mustang Cruise on July 11th. Mr. Chris Dushin.
Sure. So you've got everything in your packet from the applications, same as the other cruisings we've done already this year. This is the third application for the year. Half block First Street, Homestead Hills, gave the okay overflow parking. Looking for the open container allowance, the same as usual.
All right,
Make a motion to approve the Buffalo Ridge Brewing Mustang Cruise Event Special Application.
Second.
any discussion?
There's one for Camaros, or is there one for Camaros? I see there's one for Corvettes, I see there's one for Mustang. Is there one for Camaros?
You got a Camaro Club coming out? These have been all, this year the clubs have all contacted
Oh,
us.
okay.
They've been organizing themselves.
Give me a pen, Arden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means if you got a club that wants to come out, we'll host it.
Okay. Contact my local Camaro club.
So you're gonna call yourself?
Talk to Larry.
I'm not an active participant.
Larry's in,
Yes.
Larry's in the middle of that, so, yeah. All right, anything else? Well, you know, they have to have the Mustangs because, you know.
Our neighbor demands it.
All right, hearing no more discussion, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Next up, special application Hartford Area Chamber Block Party on July 17.
All we do all summer is have fun around here.
All we do,
Let the summer begin.
it's like Cheryl Crow.
We live lively.
Living life, that's right.
Living lively.
Living the deal lively.
That would have been good.
All right, all the information, this is similar to what we've done in the past.
Yep.
They want open container, block off the street from Second to Mint.
It's going, yeah, it'll go all the way from Second to Mint, and
Yeah.
then between the two alleys,
Yep.
on this block and that block. That was the same as last year.
Okay,
Inflatables, vendors, from what I understand, pretty much the same thing as last year, except last year they had a band. They're gonna go with the DJ this year. It's a little bit cheaper and whatnot.
All right.
Motion to approve the special event application for the Hartford Area Chamber of Commerce Downtown Block Party.
A second.
any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barron?
Yeah.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, next up, man, this is party night tonight. Special event application for the block party on South Main. There's the South Main, folks.
Wasn't it the Mafia last
Yes. We go by that also.
year?
What is it called?
South, or.
Last year they were South Main Mafia.
John Bosch, Drake Bosch, Brandon Reinish. We're just here looking for approval. We do the annual block party. Typically block off from about 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. We put up, we take down August 3rd, if that would work.
Same as we've done in the past?
Correct.
All right, any action from the council?
Make a motion to approve the event application for the Main Street Mafia.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Craig will make sure he gets the guys will get the block barricades down there the day before.
You guys accept people from Turtle Creek Drive at all, or?
Yeah, stop by.
All right.
Sounds good.
Is that your ward, it's your ward, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You're obligated.
I don't know if it is actually.
No, that's not three, I think that's two now.
That's part of my ward,
That's right.
that's part of my ward, the other east side of the street, someone else's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, pick me up on your way back.
All right, next up is special event application for the Hartford Area Fire and Rescue Public Safety Day, which is August 24th.
My name's Shanae on behalf of Hartford Area Fire and Rescue, and we were wondering if we put in a special permit to shut down the street to host our annual Public Safety Day, August 24th. Go ahead.
Great event. You guys have been holding this for a few years now.
6.
Well
This will be
attended,
6th
well
one.
attended.
Is a helicopter coming?
We hope so. We haven't gotten a definite yet. We had over 500 people last year.
It was a nice event,
Yeah.
very good event. Haven't gone.
And I think this, the application is updated, because it only says it's the 4th year.
It does?
Yes.
My report for last year said 3 years, so I don't know.
6 years.
So it's our 6th year, yeah?
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's great.
And make a motion to approve the special event application for the Hartford Area Fire and Rescue Public Safety Day.
Second. Nope, right.
Everybody
Oh,
second.
hang on.
Everybody jumping in. Any discussion? Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I just wanted to make sure that the times were from 8:30 to 2:30 for the application,
It says 9
It says 9 to 2
9 to 2.
in the application.
Okay, can we just switch that from 8:30 to 2:30?
You guys can modify it, yep.
2:30, you said?
Yeah, 8:30 to 2:30.
You want to modify your motion, say?
I make a motion to approve, do I have to reapprove it or just modify it?
I think just amend it.
To amend the
Yeah,
special
that's
event application for the Hartford Area Fire and Rescue Public Safety Day to begin at 8:30 a.m.
And at 2:30. Right?
and at 2:30.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
guys,
you.
appreciate your time.
You bet.
Thank you guys for putting that on.
Next up, we have an application for cannabis cultivation for Grassroots Gardens. And this is Kyle
Yes,
Knipe
I
in
am
front
Kyle.
of us. Yeah, I remember his name, man.
That's good, thank you. Well, thanks for having us here, yeah, just looking to approve the application to grow medical cannabis here in your wonderful town, so any questions or anything, I'm obviously welcome to take, so.
So just so the council is aware, this is going into the same building that, can't think
That's
of.
Grove
Yeah,
Farm.
see, it's,
Grove
yeah,
Farms.
Grove Farms was,
Yes.
it was the same place as it was before.
Correct.
Yep,
Correct.
so we're actually gonna make it work this time.
Good, I heard it's a competitive market.
It is a we've been studying for about a year now, so it's,
Okay.
we're not going into it lightly, we actually have a lot of, it is competitive, I mean, that's the pricing structure, you have to go in, it's below market just to get your foot in the door, no matter how good the product is, that's kind of the way we see it anyway, so, yeah.
Is this your first and only location? You have others?
Correct, yep,
This is your first and?
yep, Travis is my business partner here, and
Okay.
this would be our first venture, so.
Yeah.
Been local business guys, he's done business in Hartford doing hay grinding for the last 8 years and sold everything to do this, so,
Ah,
yeah.
all right.
Yep, it looks like by your layout, you're gonna use all three bays of the
Just
entire
the two
building.
currently, the middle one is being occupied by another.
That's what I was
Yep,
wondering
and we've
about.
chatted with him, main thing that he was concerned about, as we are too, is the smell. And we have, such systems in place to make sure that, with charcoal filters and air systems to make sure everything's, not stinking up the place. I mean, it's gonna be well ventilated and properly done, so.
So you're gonna use the two outside?
Yeah, the two outside, we're gonna start with just doing the one, obviously funds are doing it the right way and making it happen. We're gonna have enough to do the one, start doing that, and then build out the other one once we get the revenue going for the first one. So, one is, they're gonna operate individually, we're never gonna have to go in between them, outside, we're never gonna have to do anything, I mean, it's gonna be in that same building, no. It's just gonna be that times two, but we're gonna start with the one. It's gonna be the same address, same everything, just more square footage.
So it's just one bay versus.
Yeah, and the light, yeah, those are all the lights. We're gonna have a grow room, a bedroom, which is the little plant, and then we're gonna have a dry room, and then we're gonna have a trim room as well, all separately in each
Okay,
unit.
that was my question.
Yeah, it should have the layout there between there with the framing there. Yep, so those are the rooms there. I'd be happy to, it's changed, yeah, the big grow room is the big one.
So there's another business in the middle bay.
It's a truck driver who's there periodically, and using it as a shop for his truck to either park.
There's not like a suite ABC or it's.
Unit 167 and 165.
So you only have 165 on
I
there.
thought I had both on there.
Is there two apps?
Page 37, they added the 167.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is what it wasn't.
The app just says number 165.
Okay.
But then I think your
The premises
lease.
information.
Yeah, the lease has, the lease would
That's why I was a little
be for
confused if
both.
you're using the
Yep.
whole building or.
Yep, and so eventually, I think the gentleman in the middle is probably gonna move out just for simple ease purposes. The building owner, he understands what's going on, and it would probably be more profitable to have us there at some point when his lease is up. But we're not pushing him out by any means, we've met him, he's a great guy, he understands what we're doing, and he's really fine with it, so.
Does the premises address need to be updated then?
We can add that to the application.
The articles of organization are correct as well.
Being just us two on there?
With the 165 and 167.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
now,
that's,
you only on your premises are listing the 165, so
Okay.
you'll want both.
yes, I will, it's a yearly application to update the
So the
articles.
lease,
So I would absolutely update
so
those.
the articles are correct, 165 and 167.
Okay, I see.
And the lease is correct, but the app will need to
It's the
update.
app for us.
Okay, and could you amend that now? I'd be happy to,
Yep.
okay.
You can, yeah, and I'll just
So
have the
do we need
initial.
to amend that in the motion?
I think the motion say approve the application for unit, 165, 167. I'll
Okay.
have an initial though.
I'd make a motion to approve the application for units 165 and 167.
Second?
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
Welcome to Hartford.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Just have the initial.
Glad to have somebody using the license. Good luck. There's two more left, right?
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, good luck.
I'll get your license to you, I'll send it.
Yes, thank you.
I can't remember how many confirmations.
I wasn't here when it started.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
You bet.
Teresa, we didn't have a cap on the number of cultivators. Teresa, we didn't have a cap on the number of cultivators in town, did we?
No, the only cap we have is just distillery. The cultivators, manufacturers, testers, we figured those can only go in light industrial, so
Yeah.
they'll be limited by the lots we have, yeah.
But the licenses the ordinance that we approved was for 3 retail locations,
Three.
correct?
Correct.
So, yeah, exactly, yep. So we just got
All
that
right.
now.
So through here, we'll get to reports. First up, Minnehaha County Deputy Sheriff Cardis.
Hello, new council people. I'm Damian Cardis, Deputy Sheriff from Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office. I'll just introduce myself just a little bit. Been serving with the office since 2017. Started as correctional officer there, and then moved over to patrol in 18, and then been the Hartford deputy since 2020. 4 years is coming up in July. Well, I think I made that transition over. But yeah, I'm the contract deputy here in town, so I think my business card's still out there, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, you can reach me. Email's probably the best way to get hold of me, if you have any complaints or questions or whatever that's in your ward. So I'll be happy to be able to, so. But yeah, I'll go over the 30-day report. Really not much to report. Things are looking really good, really safe as we're getting into the summer. We had 225 calls for service here in 30 days of when I pulled the report, which is about 7.5 calls for service. When I look at my report here, there's really nothing noteworthy to talk about. We had 17 case reports and we made 5 arrests during this month. Like I said, things are good, things are safe, and so nothing too concerning is happening in town. So, yeah. If you guys got any questions or anyone else, I'll be happy to take them.
Did I see you on the golf course today?
You did, chasing the dog?
Yeah.
Glory.
That dog was gonna hurt someone or get ran over, and I chased that thing for like 30 minutes. It was a pain in my butt.
That's better dogs or cats?
Cows, they're more cooperative.
I did have to take a double take when I see you drive by. I'm like, what was that?
And there's a dog run loose.
Yeah.
Story is the owner, elderly, she couldn't get her dog back to come into the car and stuff, and so she was just frantically trying to get this dog. So I get pulled aside, and literally the community of Hartford came together for this dog. I'll tell you what, folks from Subway came by and helped out. We had about 3 West Central students help us out, and we tired this dog out and pinned it and got back to its owner. So it was a good community effort. Probably.
I'm glad to know that Hartford can roll up its sleeves.
Yeah, just really lending a hand, real community engagement right there, so, yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Thank you all.
Working like a dog today, deputy working like a dog.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Economic Development Director's Report, Amy Farr.
Thank you. Mine's not as exciting as the deputies, but my information's in the packet. The only updates to one being in there is we will be breaking ground with a groundbreaking ceremony on June 17th. Invites have been sent out. Each of you should have had one at your place there. And then exciting, the parcel on Western Avenue that the HADF owns now has a sign up for sale as well. So that's exciting, and we've already had a couple people reach out about it, so we'll see if somebody takes it.
That's the parcel between South and Fairmont?
Yes. It's right across from the other property that's for sale from Lufco. The corner of South and Western.
It's kind of economic development. Myself, Mayor Butch from Crooks, Mayor Wink from Harrisburg are speaking at the Downtown Rotary next Monday about regionalization.
What time is that?
Noon is the dinner. So, yeah. So, I think so. Yeah. Next Monday. Yeah. All right. Any questions anybody got for Amy? Thank you. Chamber report. Win always comes the second meeting of the month. The report is in the packet. They were very active down at the farmers market handing stuff out. All right. Now to the most exciting time of the evening. Engineer report.
We lost the crowd, so I don't know if it's the most exciting.
Well, they looked ahead, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, reports in the packet. I'll give a quick update if there's any questions. Fire away 60-month reconstruction. We're working to get that punch list completed by May 31st. It's not completed. There's still a few outlying items. We are in contact with that contractor to get those addressed, hopefully in a timely fashion. Water resource recovery facility. Keep an eye on that one. There's going to be a lot of work that will be going on. Precast will start to go up, have our tour before next meeting, so it'll be really exciting. There'll be a lot of work done, so it'll be cool to see that start to really come to life. Once we get that precast up, I think there'll be a lot of buzz going on as we can start seeing it from the interstate a little bit more, so. Everything is trucking along pretty good on that project, still making a lot of good progress. Precast is up a couple weeks from when we originally anticipated, so that's an indicator on the project as a whole. We do have construction pay app for the project too, in the tune of $1.3 million for the work that's been completed. So if we're tracking along, they're getting about $1 million of work completed every month, and that's just on the various operations. So when it was the Airlon walls, going to the operations building, now there's going to be a big focus on the operations building, getting equipment in there, equipment in the Airlon structure. So everything is still staying on schedule, no concerns, no constraints from Waste Lake at this time. So Bike and Rec Trail, just a quick update on that one. We're going to deliver signed cooperative plans to the city this week, and that's going to be one of those projects that we talked about before. We have the design nearly completed, didn't have funding for it, so we'll have that design complete, we'll put it on the shelf. If funding becomes available or grants become available, we'll be able to get that constructed. So Highway 38 water main extension, update on that. We do have our SHPO approved environmental through our SRF funding on that. I'm working with the DANR. I do anticipate we should have approval from them by the end of June, and then we'll go out to bid in that July timeframe, get bids for that. Construction completion will likely be this fall, working with some of the other developments to make sure we have water service for them. So
I notice in your report, it's bids due June 25th, that should probably be July 25th.
yeah, July, and that was based on some of those original schedules. There's been a little turnover on the DANR side, which caused some project delays, but we're working with them, prioritizing which projects to focus on. So
yeah, I just noticed that when I was looking through the dates.
yep.
That one got missed. But
Western Avenue interchange approach, so currently that is in SDDOT plan review. Their plan review's completed. We're working on addressing any comments they had. They had some minor comments, I'd say more administrative than design. We will resubmit those on the 15th. In the meantime, we're continuing to work with property owners along that corridor. I anticipate those conversations will continue to happen now all the way up till next spring and all the way through. So the plan will be resubmit to SDDOT on June 15th. There's going to be a waiting period. They'll get the project this fall. We'll get the bids in, get a contractor under contract, and then the fund will start in the spring of 2025. So that's what I got for the report. Is there any additional questions from the council?
anybody got any questions for Justin? So this puts our total spend to date at $11,337,000, if I see that right, correct? That's
Yeah.
the number I should be looking at?
Approximately 49% complete.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of those checks floating around. All right, let's deal with the pay app. Do we have any action from the council regarding this latest pay app?
Motion to approve the pay request number 8 to Race Lake Construction Group for 1.3 million.
Second.
Any more discussion? If not, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowman?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
Nope, I would just say come prepared and ready for that tour. Next week will be fun, so bring your questions for Rice Lake. I know they're excited to show off progress.
Good.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks next week. Next meeting.
Before the next meeting,
Yeah.
there you go.
2 weeks from tonight, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Next up, Craig?
Just a few updates, whatever in my report. Did have a sweep route today, nice day for it, a little bit of rain. Highway Improvements has the mastic down on Western. That was a pothole there, we just wanted to do a Band-Aid on it basically to make it through this year. We thought we'd have a little leftover product, but we didn't. There was a lot more spots to fill than what we thought. So the Diamond Trail and the Rood Lane intersection, we're gonna have them slurry seal that if we can get them over there, just to get that intersection to hold up, it's in bad shape. And once we reroute traffic next year, that'll be the main route for the traffic, so we're gonna get that in as best shape we can for next year. Lift stations, still working with that, getting the VFD, I believe we got the right one ordered, so hopefully that'll be in before long. And the other lift station, we had, some issues with the floats. After doing a bunch of work with it, we found out that there's a lead and lag float in there, and the lag float will not kick the pumps on if the lead doesn't work. So we are gonna put a backup lead float in there, just a little higher than the other one, so that if we do have a problem with the float, we got a backup float to kick the pumps on. So that's what it's been from in the 90s, the way it got put together, so we'll be taking that, we got the parts today, so we'll be putting that in tomorrow, getting that set up and done. And then the lagoons, we did get permission to discharge, so we are discharging water at this time. And then the only other thing that's not on my thing is Jamboree meeting last night. They asked if it'd be okay if we parked the beer trailer in a city building that Thursday night and maybe Friday night or something.
Well, I think we did that last year.
I think we did too, but we didn't ask for, when they did the report, so we lost our spot that we used to put it in, so. So I just wanted to get permission to.
You put that down in your shed down.
Yeah, we'll put it in that one or the cold storage shed down there, so it's all locked up tight, so.
Okay. I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah.
And that's all I got in my report, unless somebody has something for me.
Any update on the sports complex? What are they thinking on the concession stand?
So I met with, Austin, who's doing gonna be doing the concrete work, with A&B Construction. We met last week. We're hoping to get the batting cage done this week, if I can get Agri Lime in there, depends on what it is, the dang rain's been killing us. And then next week, we're gonna start getting the sewer brought over, get the water line rerouted, we got a power line there we gotta move, and then, so hopefully within a week or two, we'll be ready to start digging for footings. They said that whenever we get ready, he'll come over and help stake the building out, and then, once we get moving on, he said he'll just, I asked him his time frame, and he said, once you get it opened up, he said, this is small enough, we'll just come over and get it done, so I think everything will keep moving ahead. My goal is to have it ready for fall ball, so we'll see.
Be good.
And pickleball too.
Oh, yeah.
I talked about that. He was gonna put together a different quote for me for that, cause he said that'll be less than what it was for the other work.
Okay.
So we should be within budget easily. And I just gotta figure out the exact dimensions that we wanna put this one, because if we go to 60 by 60 for each double court, we are out of room in that area. So I think I can go to 60 with the first one, 60 by 60, and I think the next one I can do a 50 by 60 and get everything to fit. So we'll be sharing that free space on the next one we do. So I just want to double check it, make sure everything's gonna fit, and then we'll be, and he said that too, as soon as I get stuff to him, he'd get me a number and he'd get started on that, so.
Yeah, it'd really be nice to get that done. Canastota, I heard this morning, Canastoga's got theirs up and open, and we need to get her open. Everybody
Yep,
keeps asking.
we're plugging away on that too, so.
All right.
Were you gonna paint the lines on the existing basketball court?
We talked about that at the park board meeting. We had some people that were a little worried about it being cracked and that, and I can't remember what the final outcome was.
I think you said could.
I think we are.
That'd be great, because I know, with the temporary set that the city
Yeah.
has available.
Yeah.
It's in my garage usually.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the Park and Rec Board, bought last year with their funds, portable net and paddles and everything that ran out here, and we've actually checked it out a few times, but that's one place the park board talked about, they could use that until the other ones get up and going,
Have we talked to Gil Haugen about there's still a huge mess on Fighter?
Yep, I talked to them last week, and told them that they need to start keeping it cleaned up. They said they had a room there. I said if they don't get it cleaned up, I asked them about the patching part. The patching's gonna get done when they do their, parking lot, which they said there's gonna be either the end of this week or next week. So we'll get the patches done, and I told them if they don't start cleaning up, we'll clean up and bill them for it. So,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
And did you find your VFD for the lift station?
Yep, they believe they found the right one, we're pretty sure it's gonna fit in there, they measured it up, everything like that, so it should be ordered and it sounded like it wasn't gonna take a long time for it to get in, it was fairly easy to get, so.
Excellent. All right, anything else for Craig? If not, thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig. Thank you.
Karen, Finance Officer report.
Yeah, my report's in the packet. I did want to add that today I reached out to First Interstate Bank because our 4% exception that they're giving us on that index money market is set to expire the end of June. So I wanted this ball rolling to see if they could extend that. So
Okay.
Patricia is gonna take it up the ladder and see what she can do and get
Okay.
back to me. So
Yeah, let us know on that.
I will.
Yeah,
I thought the sooner I started the process, the better. So.
good idea. All right, anybody got any questions for Karen? If not, we'll move on. Teresa, you got anything to add?
Not too much, just a little follow-up. I mentioned that we're gonna continue to move forward on our regional wastewater meetings. Me and Arden are attending those. But the biggest thing is just starting to figure out how that's all gonna work and how that's gonna be organized. And I think we're looking at next Friday for a meeting on that.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
14th,
back from
yeah,
everybody,
10,
but I
yeah.
think, next Friday will be our next meeting. We'll just continue to move forward. The county is selected an engineer for the traffic study, so they will start moving forward with that. It'll take 8 months to a year, they said, for that traffic study on Western, so that's in the process though. Dakota Mainstream, they have selected an engineer to do the engineering work and the studies for that. So we will start working on negotiating a contract with that engineer for those services. And like I mentioned in our last meeting, in my report, me and Craig and Tom met with the township to figure out who's gonna take care of maintenance on the shared roads we have. I did get an agreement early this week. The town drafted, or I think it was Friday, the town drafted it. Their attorney didn't review it until today, I got it back. So he had a couple of changes, they're just minor. We'll make those changes and then it'll come to you guys at your next meeting to review and approve, so.
Okay.
That's all I have unless you have questions.
All right, any questions for Teresa?
How about the sixth and month, excuse me, did that deadline of 5/31 on there?
Yep, the
Yeah,
engineers
that's,
gave me.
yeah, what I noted in my report.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Nope, you're all good. That deadline was not met, some of the items were completed, so we're in contact with that contractor to try to get those addressed in timely fashion with the goal of
Gotcha.
just getting that closed out, completed, so.
Perfect. Sorry to make you repeat yourself there.
No, you're all good.
We also have some of the developments like Maple Pass, they, net planning up there, they have a deadline to get their punch list done as well. That's the same deadline, so we need to follow up with that too. Okay. So we need to clean them up so we can take over the services.
Yeah, we have been coordinating with them too, and the biggest thing on their end, it's a benefit to get the punch list done. That way, essentially, the maintenance is turned over to the city and acceptance is on the city. So, right now with those developments, if they're not approved punch list, really all that maintenance is on them. So, yeah, and warranty doesn't start.
All right. Anything else for Teresa? Not, we'll move to old business. First up, revisit DHI bump out program. Miss Callie?
Good evening. Callie Tushin on behalf of Downtown Hartford, Inc. There's a few new faces on the council since this project started, so I don't know what you have in your packets, but I'll just give you a little bit of a backstory. What happened, why it got started. 2 years ago, I had more free time, and so I had the opportunity to do a program through AARP called their Walking College program. They offered a basically free tuition to do a program, which then resulted in not only understanding how to provide the impetus to create a safer walking spaces for your community. They also offered a grant in order to complete a project. And so through the Walking College, I created this proposal for our downtown in where we were able to create a bump out with paint, with delineators in order to bring attention to First and Main, because we know that that is a problematic area in our community where people go fast, because it's the way that the street parking is. Sometimes you have to go really far out into the street to even see if cars are coming. And so it was just an opportunity to kind of test out an idea of one way to slow traffic down. And so part of my proposal was to also do a survey, and not gonna lie, fell off my radar. I got busy, I got a full-time job on top of running the brewery and my volunteer duties. I've been trying to step back from volunteering, and so it just kind of fell off my radar. And new leadership in DHI brought it up again. I'm gonna shout out to Michelle, who I know is gonna watch the replay. She is taking a vacation right now, and so she's not able to be here to provide more insight on this. However, I know that she had some conversation with Craig about the trees and flowers and things like that, and in that conversation, the bump out was brought up as to whether or not we wanted to maybe put the delineators back out again. Do we need to refresh the paint? And so that became, okay, we need to complete the survey, we need to bring this back to council and have more of a conversation around it. So we did put out a survey, and I think that you have the graphs there.
Yep.
I couldn't really read the graphs very well, so I did go in and kind of printed off some of the data. One of the first question you asked is whether or not people had noticed that there was a bump out. We had 50 people respond, which I'm gonna say really surprised me for being not only just a downtown project, but you know, I was really glad that people were willing to share their input. And so 48 people out of 50 noticed it at the very least. Of those 50, 20 said that they were encouraged to reduce their speed and slow down. 30 said not so much, which isn't surprising. You know, it wasn't necessarily there to make traffic stop, it was just to bring awareness to the area. And so we did ask what features of the bump out were most noticeable, and most people thought that all of them were the paint, the delineators, and the initial project had reflectors in there. And so I said, hey, let's just throw those in and see if people noticed. And people did say they noticed the reflectors, even though they weren't part of the project. So that was just a little side note, little test. But what I found was interesting was we asked, are there other safety features that you would like to see on Main Street in Hartford? And of the 50 people, 27 people indicated that they would like to see a stop sign there, four-way stop, which I thought was pretty significant considering, you know, 30 people said, you know, they didn't slow down. It wasn't enough just to see paint, to see delineators there as, you know, a visual cue. Hey, this is an area where you need to slow down. That wasn't enough. And so 27 people said, yeah, we would like to see a stop sign. It was either stop sign, blinking light, four-way stop. Those were 13 people did say nothing. We don't want anything there at all. And then the other people were maybe remove the poles, have less parking, different parking. Speed bumps was one of them, reduce speed by the daycare, more lights. So there are other ideas and suggestions included, but I thought that the 27 indicators of having a stop sign was a significant portion of that goal. And then we also asked whether or not the community thought that a feature like this would be beneficial elsewhere in the community. And 12 people said yes, where the rest said no. But what's interesting about that is 20 of those people, so the yeses and the nos, gave suggestions as to where they would like to see other safety features. Most of them are around the school, around the pool, around parks. So, which I think is pretty obvious for kind of what we have going on. You know, as a growing community, I think that safety features need to be top of mind, especially as we want to embrace other types. You know, all of sitting here are able-bodied individuals, but we want to be a community that's welcoming of people who are on wheels, you know, people who are visually impaired. You know, we want to be all-encompassing of the people that move to Hartford. And so we need to be thinking and considerate about how we can create features in our community that accommodate those types of lifestyles and just beingness, I guess. So in terms of this specific project, I think Michelle and DHI really wanted to encourage the idea to, put the poles back up. But I honestly feel like maybe there's a deeper discussion for you all to have as to whether or not, does that make sense? Is this a time to maybe consider creating a four-way stop? You know, that's not for me to decide, but I think that the information is valid and good to have for you to consider. So I'm not necessarily going to advocate one thing or another, just providing the information that we found.
I'm glad Deputy Cardis stayed. What's your thoughts on the stop sign at first when we have one already on Second?
So I'm kind of torn just because you got back-to-back stop signs right there.
Right.
Do people fly down between First and Second? Absolutely. Do people stop? No. Never.
What do you
Even
mean
if there's
people don't
extra
stop
enforcement.
where?
Sorry.
People don't stop.
Second and Main.
Second and Main. On the one I hear.
Right up here.
Right at the, yeah.
Right.
So it's gonna be another complaints that folks aren't doing it, and extra enforcement, and really hard to do traffic stop there in downtown, just cause
Right.
we got all that diagonal parking.
Right.
So it'll be a little difficult for where to sit, and it's gonna be obvious to where we sit, cause it's gonna probably be that empty lot to where we sit right in front of the stop sign.
Right.
However, I do agree that it is a problem, and I would hate to see a car versus pedestrian type of accident. I've always had the philosophy of it's not if but when, and I don't know if that's true or not in this case, but if there's a way to start having conversations, be really looking at that downtown area, especially as downtown is developing. There are a lot more parties that are going down there. There are a lot more events going down there. So I think we need to, probably as a council, Public Works, our office, to have a real conversation, sit down and come up with some sort of strategy to make that feel safer.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm torn.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense to have two stop signs back to back, I think.
I remember when we took the stop sign out of Fighter, remember we had lengthy discussion about what was that gonna do? Was that gonna actually increase the speed?
He
on
still
there?
stops.
What's that?
He still stops.
Well,
Because he grew up here.
he's an engineer, kind of. But I would say that it leveled the speed out. Would that be a safe?
Yeah, usually when you put stop signs in the middle of roads like
They
that,
jackrabbit.
they'll speed up and
Yep.
if
Yep.
they stop, like I said, it creates, I'm not, some of you don't know, some of you do, but I am not a stop sign fan, just because of the different studies about what they show, there's intersections for them, and there's intersections not.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna have people running it, and some people are gonna think they're just gonna stop, and I think you'll probably get more accidents than what we've
Right.
had in the past. I do think there's, you know, like for the safety part with the parties now, we do block it all off, so
Right.
we got it blocked off that way. But it is a dangerous intersection.
It
I will
is.
say that because of the site visibility, and you hate to lose parking spots to open that intersection up. I mean, that's probably.
Right.
And if you put stop signs there, you probably still have to open that up and block some, so that you got a visual down there, because otherwise if you come up there and somebody's coming up, they don't see a stop sign, you don't see them, you're thinking they're gonna stop and they're not.
Right.
So I think if you went ahead with trying to get a safe or intersection, I think you'd have to take parking spots out
Right.
at that intersection.
Are there any other, like safety type options that would be like maybe a sign just that links, things that still bring awareness and maybe just the paint, I don't know, what the answer is, but.
Right.
Can you be more, I don't know what you're talking about, can you explain a little bit more what you're trying to say?
Like sometimes there's signs that are just posted that might say slow or yield, with
Gotcha.
like with a light that kind of blinks on them
A
or.
blinking yellow light?
Yeah.
I mean, you could put like a crosswalk sign or something like that. There would be a flasher on it that would flash all the time.
Well, you do see some pedestrian crosswalks too, like especially if they're not at an intersection where, you push a button, there's flashing, stop
Right.
pedestrian signs.
Yeah, we have them scattered some places around town.
Schools got them.
38's got a couple.
38's got them.
Can I comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Karen Burgers, I own the casino here in town. Working the casino at night, one thing I have noticed, people park in front of the buildings and stuff, they don't walk to the corner to cross the street, they get out of their
Straight
cars
across.
and they go
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
across. And with the traffic and stuff, people might be looking more for them in a corner where they should go, but not in between cars.
Well, that's small town, but that's gonna be.
That's the thing,
That's gonna be hard to fix.
we're still small town, we're
Yeah.
growing, but we're still,
Right.
especially
Right.
downtown, it's still a small town, people park and they cross the street to go over to the brewery or to the Legion.
Right.
I mean,
Have there been conversations about speed bumps, or what does that do for snow removal?
Don't talk to him about it.
Don't ask Craig.
Yeah, don't ask
That
me.
was one of the items.
You gotta put him in there at
It'd be
midnight.
seasonal.
If if we put a speed bump in, we better, budget more for hydraulics,
Well,
after
it's
they
gotta
tear
go-
up.
It's gotta go in on Sturgis.
They tear up the plow, that's what we gotta do.
And I assume this won't be solved tonight, it's just, I
Right.
wanted to present
No.
you the information that we did gather and give you more to think about.
I love this data, because last year when you were presenting this to the council, I went around and talked to people in my ward. And this data reflects what most, people that didn't really know the bump outs, right? Which, as I said last year, I think that's way better than not having anything there. I mean, I'm pretty pro stop sign there. I know there's probably some other data to back that up, that maybe it's not the best choice after hearing some of these things, but I really do appreciate your thoroughness on this, that something has to be done. And the issue is not even when we're having parties down there, because that's, like you said, that's already blocked off. The issue is right now.
Right.
It's right now. That's where the issue is. It's your everyday just travel. I mean, I've even stopped, going east and west, I've even stopped, taken my time, slowly have, driven across the intersection, and there's cars coming. You cannot see a damn thing coming down that road. And as you said, Deputy, it's not if, it's when. Something is going to happen. Somebody's gonna get T-boned. Something is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's, maybe it's taking one parking spot out and putting in a stop sign. I don't know what that fix is, but.
I think the worst thing is the line of sight, because it is just hard to see. I know at one time, and this was a few years back, we talked about, and you guys may be on the council, we talked about some diagonal parking, like south of the brewery on the south side. I don't know if that's still possible, but, because I was thinking if we do take some off, out of there around the corner, that'd give, we won't lose parking if we can add some more, but we gotta check in with our engineers.
Buddy who can give us a recommendation, our traffic experts.
Well,
That's what everyone's gonna wanna hear it though.
Oh, I wanna hear it. Now that you said that, I wanna hear it.
Just block it off all the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Shut it down.
Now you solve the traffic.
First Avenue.
Just solve the traffic problem, right? Or you eliminate the diagonal parking, you have people park in the middle, they're jetting across the street anyway, so they just park in the middle of the street and walk across the way.
That's
You know,
what they
old
do.
school parking.
They do that on Lennox.
Lennox has
Yeah.
middle of the street parking.
Yeah. So then you're looking for them to pop out of their car, cause they just park in the middle.
So,
I like that idea, but you know, you've got a lot of businesses out there that have foot traffic, so then where does that overflow parking go? Cause you're gonna eliminate a ton of parking spots, so then they're gonna be parking in front of people's houses to count it. I love that idea.
Yeah.
If the street was big and wide enough and, you know, the casino and other places and the brewery who utilize that. Or, you know, maybe we build a parking ramp on,
oh boy, I was ready to say it, you took me to it.
I've never heard that in this room before.
Well, hey, you know what? You're here tonight, so you're getting something special.
But seriously, aren't there like traffic engineers or something
Right.
that can give us some
Yeah,
recommendations?
we can definitely look at it, and I would say it's more of a, call it downtown planning exercise too.
Yes.
Would be great.
Making sure we're understanding that pedestrian circulation as well as the, you know, other traffic. The other thing, you know, Craig and I were talking here too, you know, you could get some of those signs that you see in downtown Sioux Falls or Deadwood, you know, the yellow signs that say yield to pedestrians, but. you
But
know,
it's not the
part of
pedestrians
change-
always that's the problem, it's the other.
Well,
It's trying to cross with the car.
That's the problem.
yeah, and our challenge is, you know, you have the diagonal parking, you have such a skinny street section, so there's just a lot of factors that kind of pile up on top of each other, so we can definitely take an analysis, kind of look into it and come up with some solutions, because I think it needs to be, you know, thought about
Oh,
before.
we don't have stops there, we just stop the light.
Ooh, that'd really be awesome.
There's nothing.
Okay, as an immediate question though, I guess I'd like to poll the council. What do we think about the bump outs? Do we wanna have Craig repaint them, put the delineators back up?
Yes.
Yes,
What do we-
until we come up with a permanent solution, that's, yeah.
Cause we've done it, we have the stuff, you just gotta get some paint, get your guys out there, refreshing it up and put those delineators back up and, I mean, I don't think one season probably gives us enough thought of if it's good, bad, and different. I think we need to at least try it one more summer.
I just noticed they were there like 2 weeks ago, so.
I think there's still too many vehicles there and you still can't see anything until you're there.
The nice thing is with them there is when when you go to make a turn,
Yeah.
you have to go out and you're out into the intersection so you can see if there's somebody out there or not. I mean, I think it's a safety thing, I do think it's a good
Yeah,
situation.
it does change the traffic
It does,
pattern,
yeah, it does.
no doubt.
Can't cut.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
So
not,
I'd say, first off, let's work on that, Craig.
they don't call them traffic bump outs, they call them, traffic calmers. And that's,
Okay.
and that's what it does, it calms the traffic down, it slows them down.
So we learned new words.
Man, we love new words.
Traffic calmers.
We just approved a traffic calmer earlier than that.
We also are working on sidewalks across the whole city.
That's great.
And, we're ready to we're gonna be ready to put our application in with the school for the safe route money. And we've already laid out all of the sidewalks that we're gonna complete to make that happen. So, yeah, we're working on that, and we're gonna discuss a little bit, yes, the next item is our sidewalk, how we're gonna fix them when they go bad.
Here's something that hasn't been discussed, but it's clearly marked, you know, that drops to 15, well north of Second and south of First.
Right.
So I don't know, is it drop to 15 east and west as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Down by, Kinsley, by the funeral home is one sign, and I don't know where the other one is on the west. By that white building? Probably?
Yeah, I think it's right down by the old Masonic. It's
Masonic,
like,
yeah.
It's like a half block.
The white
so-
building, yeah.
I mean, we're trying to solve the problem that was created 120 some years ago when they built those buildings.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's not designed for what it's
Right.
not used for.
Right.
I just wanted to say thank you, Callie, for using your voice in the community and, like coming and being a part in this, it's really appreciated.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm getting tired, but.
Yeah.
Just need a break.
Just need a break, yeah.
Not retired.
All right, thanks, Callie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the next one, is discuss sidewalk maintenance options. After the last meeting, we charge Teresa with getting some additional information from other cities as to how they deal with, repairs of sidewalks, right? This was more from the
Yeah,
repairs.
just how existing sidewalks, how they repair, not installing new sidewalks. If you read through your packet, but every single one has a different plan,
Right.
you know, how they approach it. So there are many
Right.
things you can do, some set aside some money and do a few each year. Some mandate the property owners to, you know, do it on their own. Some the city does it and they assess against it. I mean, like I said, if you've read through them, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I think the ones that have, like, budget some money and go in and make those repairs, I think we might get a little kickback from the people that are building their own houses and have to put in their own sidewalk, and then these other people are getting theirs repaired basically by the city for free. You might get a little
Who paid for it
kickback.
first? You know what I'm saying, like, somebody paid for that when
Right,
they built
right.
that house, so that sidewalk was perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like a sidewalk, like anything else on your house, it's a maintenance issue. If it goes bad, if your furnace goes bad, you have to fix and repair it. But as you all know, we've got several sidewalks throughout town that they're not doing it, keeping up with them.
But I think of our Sixth and Mont project as well, where we didn't make those taxpayers, those property owners pay for that project, they already paid for one,
Right.
so.
Right, we
But
take
do we have the resources to continue doing that all through town every year? That's up to you guys, if you wanna budget for it.
If you designate an area every year, a budget amount.
I
there's a
saved
lot of
I
areas.
don't remember why I saw it or where I got it, and it's frightening because it was not very long ago. But a notice of sidewalk repair from the city of Sioux Falls, it's a door hanger that they left,
Mhm.
and it tells them exactly what they're gonna do.
Mhm. And if you notice Sioux Falls is, it's, they will go identify sidewalks that need repair, whatever that criteria is. They will send the property owners a notice, like I said, they got three options, they can repair it on their own, obviously they pay for it. Hire a contractor to repair it, they pay for it, or the city will come and repair it and bill them.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay their bill, then they assess it, so
It says-
it's literally on the property owner, but they got those.
They mark it in pink and they say this is courtesy to inform you, and then they say you'll get an official notice that reminds you to get your permit.
Yeah.
And then under state law, so is that true?
It is true, yep.
Under state law,
There's codified
costs
law
of
that
repair
requires
and
them.
maintaining sidewalks are the responsibility of the property owner.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a state law, Chuck.
I'm aware, and they wouldn't say it was, if it was. Sounds like that would get them in court.
Anyway.
Yeah, yep,
Um,
that's exactly how Sioux Falls
The other,
does it.
the other one I found interesting in your list was Brookings, where every time somebody comes in for a building permit, if they don't have a sidewalk or it needs a correction, they make them do it.
Yeah, so it wasn't just new construction.
Right.
If they
Any
do an
building
addition,
permit. Right.
if they do.
I
they would-
like that.
They don't have a sidewalk, they would make them,
I mean, it would probably make people not come in and get building permits.
that's true, you might have some of that.
Yeah, that to me is a little, you know,
Yeah.
you go to the parts of town, I think it's a lot easier to like it when you have a sidewalk, but when you live in a whole part of town where there's no sidewalks, I wanna go get a building permit to extend my driveway out 10 feet. Oh wait, I have to go spend 10 grand to put a sidewalk in when nobody in my neighborhood has a sidewalk,
I know.
you know?
Yeah, I think.
I'm just, I see what you mean, because I think we are being aggressive in this, right? I think in
Yeah.
terms of like, we know that there's an issue.
Yeah.
There's an issue, I don't know how to tackle it, I think we're starting, if you have an existing sidewalk, and people are, you know, today, yeah. I'm sure this will be filled up here soon.
Craig, do you have any idea what, what a sidewalk costs, 4-foot sidewalk, per linear foot?
Well, it's gonna be 5 foot now.
It'll be 5 foot, that's
So
right, yeah.
if you, it's about roughly, I wanna say between $6 and $7 a square foot to have a contractor.
Square foot.
So
Put
5
that
foot
in a linear foot for me?
$140 a square of sidewalk.
It's
4 by 5, I don't know. Or 5 by 5 would be $25
times
$240, 275.
each square. or each, whatever
You're
you
looking
wanna
at-
call it,
Per
square.
running foot, you're looking at, I would say if you got a good deal, you'd be looking at about $30 to $35 a running foot.
Sure. Okay,
That'd be a good deal, I mean, then
that's
contact.
about right though, cause mine along Mickelson was, right at 100, and I think I paid $3,500, and that's been a few years ago.
Lennox kinda has an interesting program. We did something similar a few years back where we, if you guys remember, we did a sidewalk rebate. So basically, we budgeted X amount of dollars, and if people wanted to put in a sidewalk or repair their sidewalk, they would apply for these funds. They'd have to do it first, show us that they, paid the cost, and then the city would pay 50% of that. And we had decent, I mean, not a huge turnout. We did it, the first year it was pretty good. 15 people, 12, 15. Second year, a few less. We only just had a handful, but, that's kind of what Lennox does too. They budget X amount of dollars, and these are funds, and so, if you would require people to make repairs, that could be some funding.
I like Sioux Falls' approach. I think if Hartford implemented something like that, we'd have to notify that property owner by, let's say October 1st of this year. And they would have to, let's say September 30th of the following year to fix it. But could we also, as a city, allocate funds for a rebate program and say there's X number of funds available as well?
Yeah, first one.
And let's say that program is going to last for 3 years or 5 years, and then, so act now while you can still get some rebate money.
And that would be for repairs as
Repairs.
well as,
Repairs and new sidewalks? or-
Well, it'd have to be repairs and new, right.
So if you have a older one with a narrow sidewalk that needs repairs, do you have to widen it to code them?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been bringing everything.
The whole
up to time.
stretch then?
yeah.
If they do a portion of it, we have them tapered back in, so.
Oh.
If they have some
Or if it
good.
or if it matches into the neighbors.
Right.
If the neighbor's got a 4-foot one, we'll taper it into the 4-foot at the last section, whatever.
But if they're doing that, Craig, their stuff that they're tapering into's gotta be good.
Yeah.
Right.
The, other thing that we did, when we did that rebate program, is they had to have it at ADA compliance.
Yeah.
We didn't pay a dime for it. So if their slope was wrong, they didn't get rebate.
Okay,
Because we
And
didn't
that's
want
what's required with all sidewalks.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's federal law, so, yeah, if they didn't do
Well-
it right, they wouldn't get paid.
so
I know-
let me go back to the question.
Project, so the scope of the project would be that specific tripping hazard or broken sidewalk, that's how the compliance is determined by.
So they could fix
by
the
code.
2
So
squares at the 4-foot width.
Technically, it would be that portion, right, they wouldn't necessarily be required due to those scope constraints
I
within.
just wanted to make sure, so, because I felt like that's not what I.
That's where it would like be that snowball effect, and that's why there is some of that nuances within, the current ADA code. Because that would definitely back into a large portion, if you're talking about a 100-foot stretch of sidewalk, we're looking at replacing those 2 panels, approximately 10 square foot. To require all that to be repaired would be
Right.
quite intrusive. City of Sioux
Right.
Falls.
I was gonna say, when I talked to Sioux Falls, it was, if you had a sidewalk and you had like a spot that was heaved up, you could actually just even grind down that heaved up spot as long as you got rid of that trip hazard there and whatnot. So you didn't have to even replace the
Right.
panels, you had to make it safe or, bring it down to, so it's a safe sidewalk.
Seems more reasonable.
Yeah, they didn't require you to, like I said, replace everything because you had one bad spot. You just need to correct the bad spot.
I mean, I think going into budget, I would have, some appetite for some amount of
Yeah.
matching or rebate.
You wanna appoint some people to, come up with an ordinance?
Tom's working on, a base ordinance.
Yeah, but I think you want us to have this discussion of how, you saw, that was Tom's base ordinance last go around,
Yeah,
Need more
so
direction.
the thing with that is though, how do we implement it, and that's what we need to talk about, how we want
Right.
to, what are the requirements gonna be of it, and it's one thing to say, if you got an unsafe sidewalk and it needs to be repaired, you know, because of this, this, and this, well then, if you need to repair it, how you do that, you know, how are we gonna implement it?
I'd like to have like a full year of non-enforcement where people get notices and we tell them, next year, this ordinance will be in effect. And then next year comes, it's not fixed, then you give them the notice and it has to be repaired the following year. So that people have time.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're gonna do some kind of budget funding or whatnot, I think a 3-year increment would be good, because we go by wards every year, but so like, you know, whatever ward we're inspecting, you know, they get their chance to, you know, have some funds available, and then the next ward has their chance, so, you know, maybe kind of come up with a plan, like a 3-year plan, and whether you implement that this first year, or this year, like you said, you just kind of give them notice, and then implement it the following year, you know, that's something to think about. So,
Well, I don't know that we're gonna have that answer for you tonight as to how we think it should go, but I would guess I would encourage the council, we need to continue looking at this.
If we make a board or a group to do it, it'd be like, you know, here's our 3 options, like our logo.
Yeah.
Let's boil it down and let's give ourselves a deadline of August 1st to get it hammered out, so we're not just talking about it in September or October.
If I appoint 3 members, we can do that, and they can convene, and you wanna have that up, Travis?
Not necessarily.
I'll be on the board just because
Okay.
I'm sick of.
I'd like
complaining
one
about
from
it.
each, we should have one from each ward. if we can.
that seemed to make sense.
There we go.
I'll be honest, I'm 50-50. I got 50% of my property with sidewalk, 50% without.
Yeah.
Well, we can make it 100%, get on the board, we can make it 100% sidewalk.
Now without curb and gutter.
But that is a whole nother issue.
Like I said, I was just saying, that's a
One of
whole
you
other
guys
issue.
really up there on party, that is part of this discussion.
It is.
Well, let's get rid of HOAs, how about that, at the state level?
Wow.
calm down.
Calm down.
We need more of the calm driving. We need that calm.
Quit reloading.
No, yeah.
You're bringing that Canadian attitude back.
Oh.
You guys are way laid back.
All right, so Sean will be on. How about word 3? Already got them guys. Already got them guys. I already got them guys working on another
Work
project.
around here this month.
I already got them on another project.
Yeah,
so-
I'm not on any other committees or anything, so.
I'll do it. Cindy's already doing fire department, so I get this one.
Okay, so I have Sean, Jake.
Well, if he said he's not doing it, I guess, that just
And
leaves
right.
me, doesn't it? I have some sidewalk, Aaron has no sidewalk. I have 0 sidewalk.
Okay, so we'll put Lauren.
all need
And,
But he'll probably sell before he has to deal with it.
do I need a motion to appoint them or no?
If you do that and they approve it, they get paid.
Okay,
Oh.
somebody wanna make that?
Let's make a motion.
I make a motion to, for approval of the appointment of Sean Bone, Ryan Horn, and Jake Jess to the Sidewalk Ordinance Committee.
I got it named and
That's-
everything.
yeah, pretty quick. Any more discussion?
Could be more exciting.
If not, we'll vote, and now, you know you guys can't
Three,
abstain,
anybody
because if you
can.
3 abstain, then we're in trouble.
Who was the second? Perfect.
Parents, yeah.
Lisa. Okay, Jake,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Travis,
Yes.
Ryan, John.
Do I have to, can
Yeah.
I vote yes? Hold on, my question is, can I vote yes even though I'm on a
Yes.
committee? Okay, yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
okay,
So you can't volunteer and then vote no.
okay. So we'll set that up, and that's a good idea, I think the comment was made August 1, we'll have, you guys can meet a couple times by August 1st, get something kind of put together.
Anybody want my text of the Sioux Falls door hanger?
Yeah,
Let's see, once a week for lunch?
thanks, you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, we should limit how many meetings they have.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah, they could
Yeah,
Too late now.
I can see this.
5 o'clock at the brewery every.
They're gonna have one tonight after.
At the end of the year, it's coming. Too late now.
I can see some double dipping going on here. All right, we got one more item under old business. to review and finalize our funding scenario for the Western Avenue Road project. We've talked about this a couple times. Teresa added again to the agenda under old business. The staff still feels that we need to go with scenario one, which was implementing a sales tax bond for approximately $3 million, plus the other funding that we were taking, some from the water, some from the sewer, some from our general fund, plus the, what's the one?
Community access grant, we've applied for that.
Yep.
There's-
Refund and the Dakota Access.
Yeah, and then we've added, from the refund, they're offering a low interest
Right.
loan for up to $300,000, which would be a little bit cheaper interest than the sales tax bond. Did check in with the other funding source I checked in the meantime was with the bank, and they just can't meet the interest
Right.
on it or the terms of themselves. But definitely the REIT loan for that $300,000 would be good to apply for, and that could maybe help with some extra costs that aren't figured into the construction costs and help kind of bridge that gap. Now, one thing, we are recommending that financing number one plus that REIT loan, but I did talk with Tom Grimmel that would help us with our sales tax bond that does municipal financing, sales tax bonds with them. He did say if we happen to get all the community access grant, that REIT loan, if the project comes in lower, we don't have to issue all the sales tax bond, the full $3 million. So
Right.
we've always got that to fall back on,
Correct.
which would be great. But at least by starting the process and applying for that $3 million, we know we're covered, I guess.
There is a shot that we could get, this project could come in lower.
With what I like with what we saw up here at North Oaks or whatever.
And we're honestly seeing that in the region. I think we definitely saw construction, start to go down. I think a couple different factors, a lot of work got done last year. Some of the private industry is maybe slowing down a little bit, and that's pumping a lot of contractors in to do a lot of work, so, yeah.
Motion to approve funding scenario number one and pursue the REIT loan application as presented.
Second.
All right, any other discussion?
Just a quick question, the finance option one, there's just a lot of information here. Is that the sales tax one?
Yes, and that takes into account the community access grant, some reserves, and then the sales tax bond for $3 million, and then plus the REIT loan on top of it.
And that would only come into play if we get the community access grant, right? There's just so much information here.
The sales tax bond is gonna happen either way.
No matter, either way.
It's just gonna be a amount.
It's the amount.
That's where the 2 to 3 million comes from.
Correct.
Exactly.
The final amount of that sales tax bond is the floating bogey we don't know.
Right.
Floating bogey.
I think,
But
That's
it takes,
kind of a
but it takes a couple
top-down
months to
kind
go
of deal.
through the issuing of them and to, go through the whole application period. And we have to have our funding in place by this fall for the state to move forward with bidding, so.
a question on that, just because this is, we would do the 4.6%, is that like the standard percent, or can that be adjusted based upon the contract?
It'll be locked in at the time they're
Okay.
issued, and that's what's running that now. So that could change, but any interest on a bond or a loan or anything has that chance of changing before it's actually locked
Okay,
in.
here's another
Even
one.
with the REIT loan,
Here's another question, hypothetically
then
speaking.
it's locked in. Sorry.
Okay, if we could pay that, I don't like debt, but in 5-10 years, if we have extra cash reserves,
You could buy lottery tickets.
we could do that.
Put it on the machine too with the brown jet.
There we go, yeah. But realistically speaking, we could, if we have extra cash reserves, say we have $1 million left on this loan, let's get rid of the sales tax bond, pay
Any
it
of
off.
our loans on our, debt schedule. Yep, in reality we can.
Cause
No, you're right.
I think it's the best option, but I just wanna say that there's really no other option, because we have to do that road, and if we wait, we're not gonna do it when the state does their work. We wait
It
another
doesn't
2 to
make
3,
sense.
4, 5 years, it could be with what we've seen, the increases, it could be easily a $10 million project in 5 years.
Well, and we let the state project chew up some of that mobilization. Hopefully we'll have the same contractor. So some of those expenses that would happen with having a contractor come twice won't be there.
Yeah, so it does make good sense to do it with the state here.
That's another thing, that's a big.
And yeah, as with any loan we have, you can always, if you have funds available, could pay them off early.
He's been using his merit thesaurus.
All right, John, any other questions?
I'm good for now.
All right. Hearing none other, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Barons?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, I see we had nothing under new. Do we have anything for exec?
Economic development, and can we do legal? I'll give you a little update on
Okay,
our legal
Thank
situation.
you, Karen.
somebody want to make a motion
I'll
for?
make a motion to move to executive session for economic development and legal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.